Now, from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather tonight. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks, here we go now, pushing on into our Monday evening, and it is going to be an evening you want to stay weather alert, really across North Texas. We're going to have an area where it's going to be a little more likely for rain and thunderstorm activity, including a current tornado watch. We're going to talk about that, but even as we go through the late evening into the overnight, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms with even some severe weather overnight is in my forecast. Now, if you're making Monday evening plans, temperatures easing down through the 80s. Here in the Metroplex, we'll put at just about a 30% opportunity. I think they're really a good part of the evening here in the Metroplex. We do remain dry. But for our friends down to the southwest, at least through mid-evening, this is a tornado watch in effect through 10 p.m. And this does include Hamilton, Bosque, and Hill County. And again, this has to do with the boundary. It's kind of sagging into the area. But this may not be the only area that we do see severe weather. But at least in the near term, we will be watching this general area for supercells, large hail, and again, some type of a tornado threat down there as well. The main reason why you can see that boundary, that red and blue line, it's separating some hot, unstable air to the south of the boundary, and some, it's not as hot out there today, right? If you've been outdoors compared to yesterday, where we were up near 100, it's definitely warm, very warm and humid. But again, temperatures are in the 80s to right around 90, so we're not quite as unstable on the backside of the boundary, right? But where the boundary is, that's going to be kind of the focus heading into the evening of some rain and thunderstorm activity. Now, on the flip side of things, looking up in Oklahoma, you see that complex of storms up there, and again, some of that may back build as we go through the evening, even into the overnight, into parts of North Texas. And the bottom line is, not just this evening, not just tomorrow, but even into parts of Wednesday around the area, we do remain fairly unsettled. One of the reasons why that boundary is just going to kind of waffle through the area before it finally washes out on Wednesday, but we have the southwesterly subtropical jet stream flow coming over that boundary. And again, the bottom line is that's just a recipe for active weather again over the next couple of days. So through the evening, this is an enhanced risk or a more likely opportunity of severe weather. Again, obviously, that's where the tornado watch currently is, generally speaking. But again, elsewhere, you're still seeing red. And again, like I mentioned, even as we go through the latter part of the evening into the overnight, again, some additional thunderstorm activity may not be impossible. Here it is. Right now, the model developing one lone supercell down to the southwest. And again, that could be quite severe. So we're going to keep our eye on that. But then take a look at this here. As we go through the evening, the deeper we get into the evening, closer to midnight, the model developing other scattered activity around, even through the overnight scattered activity. And I do want to point out the model really depicting the opportunity of some hail even through the overnight, right? So keep in mind your vehicles tonight. You may want to think about sheltering those. And then even first thing tomorrow morning, more scattered activity. Again, you can see things trying to build down out of Oklahoma, complex of storms there. And again, even as we go through tomorrow morning into the afternoon, there will be another risk. This is tomorrow's risk of severe weather. And notice here, it does include most of North Texas again. Generally speaking, for tomorrow, I truly think it's going to be I-35 off to the east, but it's a similar story tomorrow, an opportunity of hailstorms around, and it won't take until later in the day. A lot of the data showing again in the morning, again into part of the afternoon, and then well, even into parts of tomorrow evening as well. Again, not everyone's going to see rain, not everyone's going to have a storm, but it will be around. And by the way, there's Wednesday as well. You see, we're going to do it one more time before that boundary finally washes out, and then temperatures really take off Thursday, Friday, and well into the weekend as well. 70s for overnight lows. I think some folks will generally be in the 60s as well. The computer may be kind of overestimating those overnight lows. Again, simply put, we're just not quite as warm on the backside of the boundary. We'll call it a 30% opportunity overnight, but again, the way it looks, some folks will see, even through the overnight, some thunder. And again, some of that could be severe, depending on exactly where the boundary is tomorrow. 90s to the south, 80s to the north. Again, the boundary will kind of waffle through the area, and there's the opportunity again of rain and storms even as we go through tomorrow. Then as we get into Tuesday night, similar story, 60s, 70s, depending on where the boundary is. Temperatures will vary. And we'll do it one more time on Wednesday, right, with the boundary in the area, 80s, 90s. But then once we get past Wednesday, like I mentioned, real deal Texas summer does begin to take hold. In fact, we'll taper off those rain probabilities by Thursday. And there we go. Look at that. Temperatures really begin to take off. We may be trying to string together a stretch of triple-digit heat along with the humidity. Heat index values will be a concern there as well. A lot more coming up. Stay with us.